There's a cat in the world right now worth more than your car. Maybe more than your house down payment. We're talking about a creature that fits in your lap, purrs, and costs $125,000. Some breeders won't even sell to just anyone. You need references. Today, we're breaking down the cats that cost more than most people's yearly salary and the insane reasons why. Cat prices aren't random. They come down to rarity, genetics, breeding difficulty, and sometimes pure obsession. A wild ancestor a few generations back, a coat pattern that took decades to stabilize, or a bloodline with fewer than 1,000 cats on Earth, all of it drives the price into the stratosphere. Let's start from the bottom of this list and work our way up to the most expensive cat breed alive. We're starting with the Persian, and even at the low end of this list, we're talking real money. Anywhere from $500 for a pet-quality kitten to $5,000 or more for one with full show pedigree. The Persian is old money, literally bred by royalty in the Middle East for centuries before making its way to European aristocracy. That flat face everyone recognizes is the result of selective breeding taken to an extreme. And it's also why Persians need daily grooming just to breathe and see properly. Next up, the Scottish Fold, and prices here jump to $1,500 all the way up to $3,000 for the right ear fold and coat. Those folded ears everyone finds adorable come from a genetic mutation that affects cartilage. Everywhere in the body, not just the ears. That mutation is so controversial that Scottish Fold breeding is banned in several countries because it can cause painful joint disease. The healthy ones that hit the exact standard breeders want are rare, and that rarity is exactly what keeps the price climbing. The Russian Blue will run you somewhere between $1,500 and $4,000, depending on the breeder. Silvery blue fur, emerald green eyes, and a temperament so calm they're often recommended for people with allergies. Russian Blues produce less of the protein that triggers most cat allergies. That single trait alone has driven demand through the roof, especially in cities where allergy-friendly pets are basically a luxury item. Now we jump significantly. A Sphynx will cost you $3,000 at minimum and can climb past $10,000 depending on lineage. No fur. That's the entire pitch. But hairlessness is a genetic anomaly that's incredibly hard to breed safely. Inbreed too aggressively for the trait, and you get serious health defects. Ethical Sphynx breeders keep their gene pools deliberately wide, which means more cats, more vet costs, more time, and a price tag that reflects all of it. They also need sunscreen. Yes, actual sunscreen. Here's where things get wild, literally, and the price reflects it. A Bengal can start around $3,000. But early generation kittens have sold for as much as $25,000. The Bengal is a hybrid created by crossing a domestic cat with an Asian leopard cat. Early generation hybrids, the ones closest to their wild ancestor, can look almost identical to a mini leopard. And that's exactly what you're paying for when the price hits the higher end. As the generations get further from that wild bloodline, the price drops, but the exotic rosette pattern never really goes out of demand. Take that hybrid concept and multiply the price by 10. Savannahs range from $4,000 on the low end to a staggering $50,000 for a first-generation kitten. The Savannah is a cross between a domestic cat and a serval, an actual African wildcat that can leap nearly 10 feet straight up to catch birds out of the air. First-generation Savannahs, called F1s, retain the most wild DNA, stand up to twice the size of a normal house cat, and are so restricted that some U.S. states require special permits just to own one. And then there's the cat that broke the entire scale. One Ashera kitten reportedly sold for $125,000, making it by sale price the most expensive cat ever recorded. It's marketed as a three-way hybrid between a domestic cat, an Asian leopard cat, and an African serval, engineered to look almost exactly like a small leopard while behaving like a house pet. But here's the twist. Genetic testing on several so-called Ashera cats found they were nearly identical to Bengals, sparking accusations that buyers were paying six figures for what was essentially a rebranded, much cheaper breed. Whether the Ashera is a genuine breed or the most expensive con in the pet world is still debated to this day. So the real question isn't just which cat costs the most, it's what people are actually willing to believe they're paying for. Rarity, wild bloodlines, or just a really good marketing story. If you want more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed.